And for those who say we do not need a strong infrastructure, let me just give you a couple of examples of why. Today, 6 billion gallons of drinking water in the United States is lost to leaking pipes. Every day, that is enough lost water to provide clean water to over 85% of the world. Think about that. Over 85% of the world could solve problems of clean drinking water if we just stop the waters that's leaking through these aged systems. The roads that we drive on are in dire shape, and it is estimated that nationally Americans lose about $1,000 in wasted time and gas from the backlog of road maintenance, money and time spent on our kids, our wives, anything else that we can be doing, but we spend a lot of time sitting in our cars, right? Sitting in our cars, okay, because we are driving on roads that in a lot of cases haven't been repaired for 60 and 70 years. So we need to supply America. This isn't just about our jobs, it is about the future of our country. And as a whole, China now spends over 3 times more. I'm going to say that again. China spends over 3 times more on their infrastructure than we do here in the United States. And China has already built enough high-speed rail to go from here to Las Vegas 6 times over. So overall, our country was recently ranked 13th globally in infrastructure quality, down from 5th in 2002. So brothers and sisters, look, a change needs to happen. This is about jobs, not just any jobs, but union jobs. Union jobs that built this country once before, and with a strong bill, we can build this country again. And right now, Democrats and Republicans in Congress are debating one of the largest federal investments that we have seen in generations. So look, when all is said and done, this bipartisan investment will mean $1 trillion on spending in our communities. This bill will be the single largest dedicated bridge investment since the construction of the interstate highway system. This bill ensures every American has access to high-speed internet with union-made fiber optic cables. This bill is the largest investment in passenger rail since the creation of Amtrak 50 years ago. This bill will replace aging school buses around the country. Now, we ain't going to build them all to look like this, but it's going to replace those aging school buses that we put our kids on every morning. Delivering new American-made buses around this country with dedicated funds for rural communities to make sure every community benefits from this piece of legislation. This bill will provide $17 billion in port infrastructure and $25 billion in airports to address repair and maintenance backlogs. This bill will provide $55 million of investment that represents the largest investment in clean drinking water in American history. So your union has been engaged at every level to make sure our members get this work. And talking to both Republicans and Democrats to show how we all benefit if they make this much needed investment. And our allies in Congress, they fought to make sure every dollar is covered by Buy America policy. And that's critical. That's critical. Because tens of thousands of more jobs can be created if we buy the supplies and the parts that's needed to rebuild the infrastructure with a Buy American provision. Today, waivers made 40 years ago allow the federal government to ignore U.S. suppliers for construction materials and other goods. This bill will force the government to redo those mistakes that they made in the past. Rebuilding our infrastructure removing waivers that undermine our supply chains, upgrading our technology for the next generation. This is what this bill and our We Supply America effort is all about. These investments will grow the economy, and steelworker members and our employers are the ones who will benefit. Now look, this is not a sure thing though. We need to make sure that while the Senate passed the bill, the House of Representatives will need to take up this bill, and that is why we need your help. We need you to press your legislators to move this bill. This cannot be a Republican or a Democratic issue. But brothers and sisters, this is an American issue.